Welcome to Razep Africa, the heartbeat of the continent in one show.
Now, social media has become a central part of how young people communicate, learn, and stay informed. From networking and entertainment to business opportunities, these platforms have transformed everyday life. However, as the time spent online continues to grow, experts are raising concerns about how constant connectivity may be affecting our lives, our health, and especially our sleep patterns and productivity. Studies show that many young people spend several hours daily on their phones, with late-night scrolling becoming increasingly common. Health experts have also warned that excessive screen time before bed can disrupt sleep cycles, reduce concentration during the day, and ultimately affect academic work performance. At the same time, being digitally savvy has its advantages. Social media has empowered young people to build careers, access information, and connect with global opportunities. So the real challenge is finding the right balance between staying connected and protecting our well-being. To explore this important conversation, I'm being joined by two voices who will share their perspective. Simbiat Amzat is here with us alongside Chidima Kalu from the Razep Africa show, of course, as we will discuss how social media habits are shaping sleep patterns, influencing productivity, and how young people can build healthier lifestyle. Okay, like I said earlier, I am not by myself. Chidima Kalu, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Right, and Simbiat is a regular here on the show, so it's good to have you. I really needed young voices to talk about this very important issue, and it's most important because you are the ones who I'm always catching on the phone. So tell us, the Gen Zs, and for some of us who it is quite new. I grew up. I am the transitional generation that went from not having a phone at all, not having like the landlines, to moving around with the smallest devices that you can communicate with. So for my generation, I think we're still trying to catch on. But you were born with phones. You probably were born. Yeah. You probably were born, and your parents had mobile phones. However, may not be as innovative as it is now. But you were born. Handset we were calling it handset at the time, by the way. So first of all, Chidima, I think I would like to start with you before we get into the addiction that is digital screen. How do you see this landscape of young people always with their phones?
Yeah, for starters, it affects our health. For example, phones, laptops, computers, everything, they emit blue light that suppresses the hormone that causes us to sleep. So that really
affects sleep cycles. Yes, I know it affects sleep patterns because we can't help ourselves. I sometimes, try to put off the phones and all of that, but 5 minutes after I'm back.
And that's because most of our productivity these days in this generation lies with the phone. A lot of us are content creators, we are digital creators on internet, so the need to always be active online is just for us to now find the balance and say, okay, from so and so time I want to be online. But when you're looking for money at a point, you would ignore the sleep part.
No, I don't think it's particularly. Do you think it's money? For a lot of people, is just the entertainment of it. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately for us, there are so many competing activities online that you can't just stop. Yes, you're scrolling. There's some. If comedy is what takes you, you find a lot.
And then the algorithm is so funny that once you spend just 5 minutes, even less than 5 minutes on a particular topic or trend,
your algorithm changes,
and then you keep on enjoying. Before you know it, 1 hour, 2 hours, you are still on your phone. And also, I don't know if I should talk about the cheap, I don't want to call it cheap, or affordable data that we have access to now. You can easily do 1.5 gig for 300 naira on MTS. So it's easy for you to want to be online every time. Unlike then, that even recharging your phone costs a whole lot. So you have to manage that you know that, okay, you want to use this thing for 1 month and it has to be 1 month. But these days, you have access to cheap data. So it's easy for you to spend hours on social media because there's really you're not spending much. So I think that's,
and even
that's,
at
that's
that, even at that, we are even. I know Nigerians are saying how expensive data is in Nigeria. We are still.
It's expensive, but it's still affordable. Some people would rather not eat. Yes, they would rather have data than they would rather not eat rather than they must have data. That data is very important. So
again, I think it's the young people, because there is there is absolutely no way in this world that you put food and data and I pick data. I don't think. I mean, I'm not a foodie per se, but
now it's not even about food. You know, sometimes our mental, like we used to say, mental health is at stake. So regardless of all the chaos,
not having food would affect my mental health maybe more than not having data.
When you're thinking about the troubles here and there, and then you're like, let me just relax.
Social media is a relief for
social
that.
media is a relief. So I'd rather
relief from what? You know, I mean, it's quite funny, but there's this video of this very popular, I don't know if he's a comedian or a pastor, in Daboski, where somebody came and said he was quite young and he said he had hypertension, and he said, hypertension, how many wives do you have? Which children do you have? You know, that relief from what is what I keep asking young people. It's like your threshold.
Stress.
What mental stress are you facing? Your threshold for pain has become so small that every little thing is mental stress.
Yeah.
Like my mental, I need to protect my mental. Protect it from what? But Chidima, what would you say the ideal screen time, in your opinion, would be ideal screen time for an adult person?
3 to 4 hours.
A day
or in the night?
In the night.
No, I'm talking in 24 hours. How much time is healthy, in your words, to be online?
If we are talking about people that their work doesn't require them to always be on their phones, then the ideal time is 5 hours.
Ideal time is 5 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Spread between day and night.
2 in the morning, 3 in the night.
It's so unrealistic.
It's very unrealistic. 5 hours is too small. I was thinking you're going to say, give or take, 12 to 13 hours.
12 to 13 hours out
That's
of the
so much
24-hour
work
day.
to do in the whole day.
When we talk about social media now, I want us to understand that it is not only the social media that LinkedIn is a social media, and we do not go on LinkedIn for entertainment, and we go there for opportunities. WhatsApp, you could want to respond to business messages. For people, so someone like me that have a business and I run it on WhatsApp platform, I have to be online. I have to be on WhatsApp. So, talk to Jane, please.
Talk to your I don't know. I'm learning. Tell me about it.
Post and do all of that. So
that in some way is work.
Yes.
That's work in some way. So I'm not sure that applies. That you're using it for work.
There's distraction also, because
I'm talking about that intentional distraction where you're like, I want, for my mental health sake, I want to detox, I want to decompress. You mention all those words and you go on TikTok, and you know it's very addictive and it's very, very. But you said 5 hours.
The funny thing is, when we say we want to decompress using social media, we don't even know when the time goes by as we are scrolling. So my sister has something she does. She sets a screen time, so she could be scrolling and then the screen will go off. The time she sets.
The screen time. Remember that the screen time is also done manually.
Yes, set by you.
And then I'm like, no, I'm going to change it again because I'm the one that fixed it, so I can still change it. So that one is not sustainable. Fixing the screen time is not sustainable, except we have something that would automatically do it for us without having to set it by yourself.
But this realization, I mean, I've been listening to expert one, especially children. I've forgotten the country right now that banned social media completely for young people below 16 or 18, I'm not sure. However, I've been hearing young people, experts rather, warn. Do you think, as addictive as it is, young people understand that it is cutting off productive hours and it's affecting sleep patterns and health? Do you think we are aware?
Yes. Everybody is.
Personally, for me, I'm aware because I had an experience last year that I had an issue with my eye, and then I went to the optician and I was told specifically that I had the issue because of I was exposing my eyes to too much screen time. That was even when I had to caution myself, and I had to say that, okay, now that there's an issue, I have to like caution myself. Imagine if there was no issue, I would still continue using, but now I understand better that I will even be the one to tell people that, oh, no, once it is 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., just drop your phone regardless of what you are doing. But now we even have those blue lights and blue coat glasses that blocks the ray of light, so you can still use your phones, but it's just something that you...
So instead of looking for ways to you know, examine yourself and caution yourself, you're looking for options that will protect your eyes.
They say alternative. They say alternative.
Okay, so I guess the question now would be, with this digital lifestyle that we have now embraced, do you see it getting better or getting worse? Because when you talk to employers of young people, they struggle because these young people rather bury their faces in phones, and those important life lessons that they should learn, they are now socially awkward because they are all about what they see on phone. You know, sometimes you get the etiquettes, simple etiquettes that young people should learn. That something we learn very easily because of interactions here and there. You people lack it. Even greeting your elders is a problem
because of phones.
Because of phones. Because but do you think it ever will come a time it's better?
I don't think so. Everybody uses their phone for one reason or the other. So
I think it will get better.
Well, it will get better to a point where young people growing up will be like, you know what, it's fine. I'm no longer going to just, you know, waste time.
It will get better because the adults that we're talking about here, so they are beginning to lean into towards our own phone culture. Most of all these broadcast messages that circulate on WhatsApp is being sent by our mothers and our fathers, and then they don't even want to verify the news. So sometimes wherever they want to call their attention to them, and like, this news is a fake news.
This one is AI.
This one is AI.
I remember my mom has been sending me a card saving a baby.
So it's not just about the elders teaching us morals. It's also us about educating the elders too, because they too, most of our mothers are on TikTok.
Now maybe I erroneously made it look like a young people problem. But when I'm saying, is it going to be better, I'm talking holistically, because I have found myself sometimes scrolling aimlessly, and I realize time has gone, like, oh my goodness, there's so much I'm supposed to be doing in that time. So I'm asking if it will get better, the awareness to, you know, drop the phones and communicate and socialize and, you know, be productive instead of, you know, burying your face in the phone.
That's where self-discipline comes in.
Who is going to champion it now?
Yourself.
Productivity can also come in terms of,
because remember, it has become very addictive. I know somebody whose phone fell and broke, and I think he almost lost his mind. Because
are you not thinking from the angle that the person could be making money from pressing the phone?
More often than none.
Now we have people, we have influencers
more often than none, they are not even making money. Those who are, I mean, I understand the ones who make money out of it. They are selling products online, they are drop shipping.
Some people are streaming their daily life
activities,
and they are making money from streaming their daily life. So those kind of person, they cannot drop their phone for a minute because it would, like, their revenue would drop. So they have to be on their phone 24/7, except when maybe there's a technical issue. But if not, they will be with their phone, and they have adequate justification for it because they tell you that they make money from it. And if you look at it, truly they make money from it. I'm even considering going that.
Yeah, I just think my life is not that interesting, and so a day in a life as joyous. I don't think it's that interesting. Moreover, a lot is being shared. There's that privacy that we've lost.
That's a big issue.
Yes, and I still want to be private. I want to know the people I am able to communicate and tell my story. I don't want the world to know every bit of. So I'm still yet to get to that point where I can share my private life in that regard. But what do you think is the biggest danger, with us constantly being so open? Your father does something, you bring it in this life. you come and you call your papa, you call your father out on social media. But we see that we see that your siblings, you're having scribbles in your family, you bring it out to social media. Worse still, your sister now responds, the entire family now has in response to what you. I'm like, guys, go and have family meeting already. Go and have a family meeting. But in that line as well, is this something we should start seeing? And I think Keeping Up with the Kardashians started all this.
Well, yes, it started, and people even, we are now doing it worse. Not even,
there's no censorship.
There's not even censorship. Some people go as much as recording their bathroom activities just because they want to make money, and then they go. There are so many things that is happening on the social media space when it comes to monetization. I think this whole thing started with the monetization issue. Okay. Because I have a very relevant example, like on X now, formerly called Twitter. Before, when it was owned by Jack, there was no monetization. Everybody was just like, but the moment Elon Musk took over and started monetizing it, people just started.
The competition increased, and then the pressure
people just wake up and just say anything and just do anything just for you to have traffic on your page, just so that you'll be monetized.
Unfortunate.
And it is affecting. If it's not even affecting you directly, it's affecting the next person, because people are being defamed, people are being lied upon, people are being.
Look at the young lady who came out to talk about how she was raped, and we all took
exactly the Mirabelle case.
Oh my God.
And then we all took pity on her, and it now happened that she lied. She lied about the story just for her to gain pity and maybe for some social media change.
Well, it's time to go for a short break. When we return, we'll talk about the education sector and how this digital lifestyle of ours is affecting us in the education sector. We'll be right back. This is Razeb Africa.
Welcome to Razeb Africa, the heartbeat of the continent in one show. Here.
Welcome back from that. This is Razeb Africa, and I'm hanging out with the Gen Zs today, discussing the digital world, how digitally savvy a lot of us are, and how in the flip side it's affecting our health, our productivity, and above everything, our social interactions. But we have moved the conversation now to discuss education and how social media has really affected us. I still have Chidiman Simbiat here, who has seen that video of a professor really getting angry. He said all the answers he got were similar because they all used AI. And no one, cracked their brains like we used to do many years ago. And of course, if you're talking about the concept, there is no way two people will phrase it the same way, structure their conversation the same way, and all that. Skill issue, exactly. And now, while this is a good thing, information is no longer far-fetched. Information is within reach. While we wanted to come to this digital world, this communication, apex of communication in the digital world, the question is, do you really absorb the concept like you would if you had read through everything and brought this article or this classwork together, which was the whole entire idea? Or your question is asked, you ask ChatGPT the way the question was asked, and you're like, respond to this, please. ChatGPT in 5 seconds would respond to it.
And then you copy.
So you are the most recent student right here. You just graduated. So the question was, how much did you infuse AI into the responses that you get? No judgment. No judgment.
I use this for assignments, for my projects. I used it a lot. Was it figured out? Because there are some applications now that can determine how human the response is.
Yes.
So were you figured out, and was it necessarily frowned at your university? No, really. I don't know about other people, but for me, I did not just dish out what ChatGPT gave to me. So I refined what I...
That's why I was saying skill issue. Once you have the skill, if you are intelligent,
yes. You look like you cheated a lot. You know the skill,
on the contrary,
the skill to maneuver.
On the contrary, Dr. Joy, when I was writing my own project, well, I'm allowed to blow my trumpet. I'm a very intelligent person. So when I was writing my project, there was no ChatGPT. I don't know, I heard my project mate was telling me that, oh, there's one app, if you put your topic, it will bring you everything. And I'm like, what's the app? I did not even know. I did my project myself.
I did my project myself.
Without ChatGPT. So there was no AI, and there was
I
no
feel
AI.
so old.
And I did, and I did the project, and I got A in my project. So
what did you get?
I had an A too.
Oh my goodness, ChatGPT got an A.
And the person that did it intellectually too got an A.
Yeah.
So it wasn't because I did not know how to use, I didn't want to use the AI, but then there was this fear, like you said, that, oh, they are going to figure it out, and I didn't want it to affect anything. I'm like, why can't I just do it myself?
Absolutely.
So I now noticed that, okay, it was after I graduated that I now started using ChatGPT, because of course that was when it became more popular.
But how about absorbing this information? One that in conversations you can always relate to, because the danger for me is sometimes I feel foolish, because the research that would have taken me maybe an entire day to arrive at, in seconds I do it. But in those seconds, there's something about this research that you don't. It's not just about what you are researching. Exactly. Now you stumble on other concepts or other research statistics and data that becomes retentive in your memory, and when you're talking about that subject matter, you become a god, because you've done the research, you stumbled on other related topics and researches and statistics, one that makes you better informed. This is what ChatGPT is doing to our brain. It has done it, it's doing it for you, but how are you able to infuse this quick, the ChatGPT and all of that, and still absorb knowledge and learn? Because we must at all times be learning.
For me, what I do is that I usually read. I do not give I give ChatGPT what I have researched on to refine for me. Not
the other way around.
Not the other way around.
Asking it to research.
And that's that's the mistake most people do. They don't do this. They just give Chat. And sometimes, if you notice, ChatGPT make mistakes. But if you are not knowledgeable in that aspect, you will not notice the mistake, you will not notice the error. So what I do the research on my own, and then it could be that I want it to maybe like expand it or just give me more context to it, and then it now goes towards my own research, not giving me something vague, something vague.
And I saw a report as well where ChatGPT is saying that it tilts towards how you want your responses. So if I over time have been asking for the dangers of something, for instance, even when there are visible benefits to something, it will give me the dangers, exactly. So well, there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn.
That's why I said using AI or using ChatGPT is something that you have to learn. It's not just garbage in, garbage out. If you don't know how to use it, you would use it wrongly. And one interesting thing that I have discovered about ChatGPT is that you are never wrong when it comes to ChatGPT.
It was a wonderful.
If you tell ChatGPT that, oh, I did something bad to someone, it will justify you.
It couldn't have been so bad.
And like, you don't have to
push to this.
Exactly. It will not tell you that you are wrong. Never. You're never wrong with ChatGPT. You are always, and it will frame the words that you'll be like, oh, it will be. In fact, it will make you look very innocent, whereas you've done something bad.
Now let's talk about the mental health. I mean, we keep depending on social media to heal us, to fix our mental health, and unfortunately for us, if you want to see the dangers of water, go to social media. You will see thousands. If you want to see benefits of water, I mean, somebody did a compilation of influencers, health influencers, telling you, don't drink so much water. And when he was about not to drink water, there was another one who said, your body is 70% water, you need water. He's like, okay, let me drink water. And the other person is like, drink moderately. He's like, listen, listen, And that's how he went from one concept to the other. Anything you want, it's a potpourri of everything that you want, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This must be confusing for our mental health, especially for some of us, not Gen Zs, who everything is mental health issues. For some people who have legitimate issues, mental health issues, how do you think regulations can come so that, someone who is maybe suicidal, who is already presenting anxiety and all of that, will not stumble on the wrong messages?
I think the best way is to just stay off social media.
Stay off social media.
Yes, because there's no way you will go online and you will not see something that will trigger you. It happens.
There was one story that trended then. A lady committed suicide, and it was as a result of the advice she got from
ChatGPT. Yes,
and she actually went ahead. She went ahead to do such a thing. So
it wasn't just the lady. There's a 16-year-old that sued one of the ChatGPT apps. I think in Australia also. He said he gave him word for word direction on how to unalive himself, and the 16-year-old went through it, and that's how he passed. But like I said, it's a potpourri of everything for parents. I mean, you're unsure when to expose this child. You also are in the confusion of, I don't want this child to be backwards. I want this child to be tech savvy like his counterparts and learn AI, learn coding, learn designs and all of that.
That's where parental control would come in. As parents, I believe that there's a stage where you should expose your children to, so you can't take them off social media, because regardless whether you restrict them, they'll still find their way to it. So it's better to instill these principles to them.
Speaking as a parent, hold on first. Speaking as a parent, no shade intended. Speaking as a parent, I feel like what my 16-year-old would stumble on and absorb and understand that no, this is taking it too far, and what a 13-year-old would, because they are still very perceptive. A 13-year-old, a 12-year-old is different. So if I keep you away from social media and you're not being trained by social media, I'm the voice in your head until you are 16. By the time you stumble on social media, I expect, it doesn't work on all the time, I expect that you will look at certain concepts that come your way, and believe me, it will come sometimes from your classmates and all of that. When it does come, and you will be able to say, nah, this is something I want to go into and all that. The media isn't doing a good job, and the entertainment industry is not doing a good job, especially when it comes to the nudity and obvious and open drug use. We have not censored that part well, and it's worse. It's worse on. Oh my goodness! Look at who has seen those very trending videos of children using vulgar words, and we all laugh.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh my goodness. Maybe it's my algorithm as a mother, and so a lot of those things come my way. It's funny to people when a child, having heard parents use these words over and over, is being asked the simplest question, and in his exclamation, he used a vulgar word that at my age, I can't even use it in front of my mom.
And the mistake parents are making, some parents are using their children for content, and not of course, exposing them to this kind of words that they are not supposed to use, all in the name of content. There was this trend, this 1+1 stalker, this trend. And then you ask a 2-year-old, 1+1, they're supposed to say 2. The 2-year-old goes, 1+1 is 2 stalker. And like, obviously, they must have heard their parents. And then now that 1+1 is no longer 2 to them, they've changed it to something else, and then they take it to the school, and it becomes a trend, and it becomes something that every of their classmates now begins to sing.
Very unfortunate. And in fact, there is several pages on social media that are promulgating they need not to even go to school. Why are you going to school? It's not important to go to school. And children are watching and thinking, oh, he's doing well. He's doing well in maybe content. These controversial things he's promulgating is the things that's making him do well. And so instead of focusing on school now to build not just skill, the importance of school, we cannot sit here and exhaust it. You are better exposed. You are able to even decipher how you cheat with AI because you went to school, and you're exposed to so much more. You're connecting with people who from who would in time help you, or you will be helpful to, and all of that. But people are telling you don't go to school, and children are listening and be like, come to think of it, mommy, why do we bother going to school? If I plan to be a YouTuber, why don't I start today? I'm like, what do you want to go tell people on YouTube if you've not learned something? It's not school that will teach you. Like, no, I could stumble on stuff, and unfortunately, so the dangers are very rife as well.
the dangers are rife, the benefits too are also, we cannot overemphasize the benefits of being on social media and learning from social media, because when you look at all these things too, it's not only the bad, it's not only the negative side that is on social media. Me, for one, I have learned a whole lot just by being online. There are so many. You could learn Islamic activities, codes. You could learn how to make how to make beads.
Of course,
you could learn all those things online. Those are productive. So
things.
It is one way to draw the line between the productivity and that distraction that comes. Because sometimes you may want to just say, "Oh, I want to be serious today and learn." And learn a particular thing on social media, but then one advert just pops up, and then you just say, oh, "Let me check," and then you just go before you know it, you find yourself and
carry you go where you don't know.
Carry you go where you don't know, and that's where you now spend the most of your time.
But do you think that we should infuse it in our education sector, as education industry, where we teach children social media use, knowing fully well that there are potential for upscaling in whatever sector you want to do? For instance, a friend of mine got a scholarship to study in India, to study AI in India. So when she got there, she at the time was 35. However, children, she realized that it wasn't about going to school. School ended at 12. From 12 to 2, you are all in hubs. A 3-year-old who plans to be a doctor is taken to an entire kind of a place where you get to learn about the anatomy of the body. A child who has told you, "I want to do tech," first is hands-on learning about little softwares and hardwares and all of that.
We had that kind of
exactly. So the school is just from 9 o'clock to 12. The child is having the time of his or her life in those hubs where you could learn practical. You are learning about the anatomy of the individual. You are learning about construction work, what these do. There are little tools and simulations that you are already playing with the digital space and all that. By the time that child now gets to finishing primary school, they are building structures, they are building models. If they want, they can tell you if you're asphyxiated or, the child is better exposed. But we will keep our children from morning till 4 p.m. and the child is sitting in the classrooms, and these classrooms are boring for a 21st century child who everything is faster, whether I want to agree here or not.
Note, and then when the child now finishes university level and the child is now looking for a job, you now say, "We need so role, 23 years old with 10 years experience." Where do you think the child would have gotten it?
So that's what this school structure in India is doing, where they are giving you the experience. You can actually come up and say, "I have 10 years experience and I'm 10 years old." Yes. I'm 12 years old and I have 10 years experience. So they will be very right. How do we infuse these fast-paced learning, because that's where the 21st century children are, this fast-paced learning in our education? And because it is a cumbersome process to go through the legal processes of petitioning government,
but do you know that
pushing
in Nigeria,
for bills?
we have technical schools in Nigeria as well, that if you do not want to go through the conventional education like the secondary school and the basic education, you could just do primary school and then go to a technical school. But that technical school,
those technical schools, where are they now?
I know of technical schools in Lagos. But the clause there is that it is students that they think
are not doing
well in their normal arts and sciences, do not throw them. So technical school was like a dumping ground. And even if you are going to technical, you're not proud, because it looks like, "Oh, I'm the one that failed and then I had to be thrown to technical school." So whatever you're doing in that technical, you're not doing it proudly. You will even be shying away from your peers that are in school, but it's not supposed to be so. But I think that is where the orientation has to come in, that even if it is technical school, the child should be proud that, okay, I'm in this technical school to learn this particular skill, not to be seen as dumped in that school. So yeah, I think
I went for a fashion exhibition, and in China there is a certain machine that you want something sewn, you want a certain style and all of that. You stand there and it measures you
Wow. Accurately.
Accurately, like you stand there and it just does like it just scans you, and it takes your exact measurement. I was blown away. And so when it takes that measurement in just minutes, it has given you, it has cut it, yes, it has given you that dress. Except at times when it's now complicated, there are stitches here and there, and then there is an entire factory of people who are doing stitches and all that.
It's done electronically, not manually.
No, the cutting, you just give it the fabric and the cutting. But that's what I'm saying. Like, even when you say technical schools, I know when we talk technical schools, a lot of people's head just went straight to carpentry, welding,
those are good skills too.
But I'm just saying, even in the fashion industry, even in tailoring, what we would call Aboki tailoring here, a lot has changed. It has been infused into like the innovations that have come up that if only we position better.
If you are not even intellectually sound, you will not be able to cope in those fashion.
Yeah.
Tailors, like you call them now, they are even drafting patterns and drawing graphs just to cut a style. So if you don't even have the knowledge, if you are not intelligent, you cannot.
What are you saying? I tried to attend a fashion design school. It got too technical for me. I'm like, this is not. I did not plan for all of this.
Start dividing, start doing some calculations.
I just want to learn the regular, and they had to give me some mathematical thingy and all that. Like, nah, this is not for me. So it takes everything. It takes more than just passion. It takes everything. But how can we infuse it in this fast pace? Because nothing irritates me literally like when we hear there's no employment in Nigeria with the many opportunities that we have. But since we're discussing social media, how come we have so many young people online and you claim more than half of them are making money, and then we're still recording unemployment? Is it a tax evasion issue?
Most likely, and the fact that most people
tax evasion, as they don't want to admit that they have
running under small business owner. People have big businesses, but because they are running away from government scrutiny, so they'll just say, okay, they are small business, and it's not so. We have so many people in that field that are even employers of labor, and they are doing perfectly fine. But maybe because they don't want to pay taxes, or maybe because we are scared of being billed, even black tax and all of that, we try to shadow the business and make it look small.
Okay, but what do you think? Is that the case? A lot of you people claim that we are all on social media. You are all on social media making money. How come we still record such high unemployment rates and unemployment numbers in Nigeria?
Well, probably because most people do not see the job opportunities that they want out there. So they are waiting for the right job opportunity to come.
But if you're making money already, and why do you need
passion?
Oh, okay. Passion. So let's talk about, in closing, I think I'll come to you first. We don't have much time, but what are the practical habits young people should adopt to maintain a healthy balance between digital life and real life?
Self-discipline, like
self-discipline. Yes. You have hammered that.
If you have a target, then you have to restrict yourself from spending too much scrolling time on social media so that you can become productive.
Okay.
I would say that young people should believe that social media is not real life sometimes. What you see is not what you get, is not what you see in most cases. So we should be able to control ourselves and know how to manage our time effectively. When you want to do something, put your phone aside and make sure that until you finish what you are doing. In fact, social media should even be like a reward. Oh, when I finish this task, I'll just scroll through TikTok for 10 minutes as a reward for doing that task. I feel when we do that, we'll be able to control our time.
Yeah, but don't give yourself too many rewards too often. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Razep Africa, where we are discussing social media as it affects sleep and productivity. Thank you so much for being part of today's edition. I am Joy Asoyen, and I've had Simbiat and Chidima right here this morning. Thanks, ladies. Thanks, ladies, for being part of the show. Until next time, when we come your way, do have yourself a wonderful rest of the day.
Welcome to Razep Africa, the heartbeat of the continent in